What happens when you feel like you've made so much progress in building your personal brand, yet business is still slow?
Inside, I was just feeling like that's just not, that can't be it.
In today's episode of the Fairy BOSSmother, I'm going to be speaking with an amazing guest, Nadja Fromm, all the way from Germany.
I'm so excited for this.
And today we're going to be uncapping what is working in her brand and what are some things that she can tweak.
That little voice in my head that was like, there's inconsistency, we're not showing up as good as we could, that she was right, and you said it out loud, and so now it's out in the ether.
So that she can really thrive in her business from start to finish. Welcome to the Fairy BOSSmother Show. This is the only place where small business owners get real feedback, real results, and real talk with the Fairy BOSSmother. I'm Tarlene Rahman Figueroa, your personal brand expert, and my job is to help small business owners like you to build a brand that reflects who you are, what you do, and why your work matters. What's up, Nadia? It's so awesome to have you on the show. Welcome to the hot seat.
Thank you so much for having me, Talon. Always good to see you, and I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, the fact that you are even here with me on the Fairy BOSSmother Show tells me that you are ready to level up, to take your business to a whole other level. You are ready for growth and you are ready to kill it in 2025.
Amen. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So let's do a quick vibe check, right? Before we get started, do you want the full like Fairy BOSSmother, straight talk, no sugarcoat, or do you want the kitty gloves where I can go easy on you today?
Oh, honey, you should know me a little bit by now. Like, bring it on. I'm German, so no filter, please.
No filter. She's asked for no filter. I'm going to give you no filter. So one of the things I noticed immediately about you, I love your vibe, I love your energy, and just for the sake of the audience, you have to stand up and show that amazing sweatshirt that you have on today.
That's the thing. That's my message. Get out there. Do your own thing, guys.
Tell me, what is Fromm Consulting all about?
Fromm Consulting is all about helping you break up with corporate, break up with your 9-to-5 chains, break up with working for somebody else's dream. And I help people with my over 20 years of experience in advertising agencies and global marketing, brand marketing, leadership roles and startup background, and co-founded a couple startups. So I'm bringing all of that together. I'm stripping out all the corporate BS and all the fluff and basically break it down into actionable steps and tools and resources for you to build your own business, to become your own boss. And that really starts everything from, hey, I have an idea, or I already have a side hustle. I don't know if I can make money out of it, or I'm afraid because I don't know where to start. So that's where I really help. And that goes everything from defining the value proposition, like what is that you want to offer to the world? You're not made to be miserable 9-to-5. It is personal for me because I went through the very, very hard school of life. I climbed the corporate ladder very quickly, very high. I was in the boardrooms. I was at the head of the table. I was that girl. And all my life I was like, this is what it is. You keep chasing and that's what it is. And success is going to be, and then you're going to be a CEO, and then everything is going to be great. And then I became, general manager of a very great company within a very large international corporation. So like big money, big responsibility, big, great team, huge budgets.
And you mentioned breakup quite a few times nowadays. It seems like that's something that's really, really important to you. Why is this so personal to you?
Earned, collected through the years. And so really this last one felt so different because it forced me to a complete stop. Breaking up with somebody is very personal. It can be very painful. It is a confusing, and it's like the ultimate transition, right? It's a phase where you don't want to be alone. But I was very, very, very empty and sad. And inside I was just feeling like that's just not, that can't be it. And I think the biggest wake-up call for me was that the third burnout. Yeah, it's great to work for these ridiculously like huge companies, big names, big title, bigger paycheck. But if you hustle and grind, but it's not aligned with who you really are, your authentic self, then you always have to like put on a mask, and that takes energy. And that is how you burn out. That is how depression comes in, anxiety, imposter syndrome, if we're not able to be our true self. And so it doesn't matter if I'm sitting in the big boardrooms or if I sit here like, in like a hoodie and at my in my home office, and you know just or working at Starbucks. It doesn't matter if it aligns with what you want in life and what's important to you.
You're doing a lot for the external world, but internally, there's nothing there. There's nothing
Yes,
keeping you going. There's a lot of burnout because what you're doing for other people is not, you don't personally care about it. There's no stake involved in
correct.
that,
Yeah.
right?
And it's not sustainable, because I can tell you, when shit goes south
Mm,
and you don't perform, or you don't, circumstances, especially when you're on the top of the food chain in these companies, like, you're the first one to go.
right, exactly.
And there's not a lot of loyalty from a large corporation to the individual. It's just what it is. Like, how can it be? Companies don't have a soul, and that's sad.
Yeah.
But it's the part really is that find something that truly sings to your soul and aligns with your values, and then you can't burn out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say you will never work a day in your life. Like, that's BS too,
Yeah.
because it's hard, and it's a hustle and it's a grind. But you get out of bed and you do something that you build. You
On
work
your
on something
terms.
for you, and not for some shareholder.
And you have an anchor, right? Because at the moment you don't have an anchor, and no matter how much money and benefits and all of the other like shiny things that come your way, these are
Yeah,
the things. It's not going to keep you grounded, right? So
correct.
what's the story behind why you started then? I know you went through a stage of burnout. What got you here today?
From that burnout, through the healing process and my inner work journey, I realized that what I'm really, really good at is helping people build their own business, and supporting them and coaching them there. And what brings me with you today, throughout our networking contact, I'm realizing that you could help me out sharpening my branding. And I mean, obviously you can't really see, I got my pink hair, and I really go strongly on all that pink. The reason for me is because that is how many consultants with pink hair are there. And it also it breaks very violently and very purposefully with norms.
Absolutely. And also, when you go for a breakup, that transition has to be big. You want your ex, in your case, the corporate world, to say, "Oh my God, I can't believe we did that to her. Look what I missed out on." Right?
True. The
So you've
revenge,
got to
it's
be,
like the revenge body, but the
yeah,
equivalent for it. It's my revenge
exactly.
business.
It's a revenge business. Yes, I love that. You know what? Let's hold on to that term, revenge business, because I feel like that's something that you need to add into your branding. So this is the great
Interesting.
foundation. So now let's talk about how your brand actually shows up online, starting with first impressions, Nadia. So tell me about your ideal client. You talked about how you want to help people break up with 9 to 5. Do you think they might check out your website or your social media to kind of get a sense of who you are?
I know already that the website can work much harder for me, but I think the website is definitely meant to be the place where once the awareness is there, like for the consideration phase, where people are gonna go and like, all right, so what's she all about, right? Like, I think that's where the website can really work incredibly hard for me, much harder than right now. I
Yeah.
also think, yes, social media, I'm starting my presence there. Again, like, my business is only a couple of months old, right? The other channel for me, I think, is LinkedIn,
Okay.
because that's where we find my ideal client. And my ideal client is typically a professional, like I don't want to call it like corporate veteran, but like someone who is very comfortable in what they're doing, like the what they're doing, but not necessarily the how and where. And so the mindset people, the place where I'm looking for people would be, I can't make them want to leave their job. I can't make them want to build a business. But once you went through the phase of like, I think I'm gonna leave this guy, right? Like, once you know you're gonna leave this work relationship,
Yeah.
that's where I can come in, because you already have the desire of like, I want to change something. Something needs to change. I don't want to be miserable for 9 to 5. I want to do something else. I want to chase my own dreams. That kind of mindset all the way through they already started their business, but it's just not yet taking off, or they didn't pull completely the plug with their full-time job, so they're having this as like a side hustle. And so that's kind of if you think about like the journey, like the evolution journey from like leaving your job all the way to having a successful business. So that's kind of like that time, that snippet of time, the window where I would love to meet my ideal clients.
It's such a small window because you're catching them just when they're thinking about their exit strategy and they're ready to make a decision, right?
Yeah.
But you're not
Yeah.
capturing the audience who may have not thought of entrepreneurship as another avenue for them. And a lot of people
Yeah.
are in this position where they can see how hard it is to set up a business. So why would you want to leave a cushy 9 to 5 where the only thing you have to do is show up, do the job, and peace out? So that could be something that let's pull that
Mm-hmm.
your business.
Okay.
And getting people ready to build an exit strategy so that when they say, you know what, that's it, I'm ready for my mental breakdown is happening right now. I need to talk to Nadia. She's already helped me facilitate an exit strategy where it feels safe. I'm not jumping off, I don't know, what's this, like planks?
Mm-hmm.
So rather than capturing people right when they're about to jump off the ship, like the Titanic is going to sink or swim, don't sink with that ship.
Yeah.
Yep, we want you to float.
Got it.
Imagine I'm Googling your name right now. And in fact, I will do this in a second. What do you hope I would find about you?
I would probably say that I hope you're gonna find some credibility about me.
With that in mind, let's take a quick look. Let me if I'm spelling your name incorrectly, but this is it, right?
Nope. Perfect. Yes.
Okay. What do we see? 3, 2, 1. The first thing I'm seeing right now is you are the only Nadja Fromm ever. So you have a really unique name, which is absolutely amazing. Your socials are coming up. Your business is coming up. Now, this is you.
Yes, I was such a baby. I started my career in agencies, advertising agencies. This was my first job in like the real corporate job.
Oh, right,
My first
right.
job was such a baby.
Is there anything in here that's kind of like surprising you other than that photo?
There was something about like my location and my age. There, what is that? Use phone book.
You're in the
Okay.
phone book, so people can find
Creepy.
you. But let's go to the images. A lot of it's coming from your website, which is great. There's no more after
Good.
this. So if someone was checking you out online for the first time, what do you think they would see? Like, what impression do you think they will get of you just by Googling your name?
Well, that I'm definitely a person and that I love to change my hairstyle. Well, they just think like, all right, like that's a real person. She's like she's been places and it seems to be someone worth checking out. I don't know, that's my interpretation.
And here's
Yeah.
something interesting here. So look at the keywords that are coming up with your name, which is quite interesting. Own success, corporate, human resources, LinkedIn, Lint, which is a company that you worked with, your business, escape, marketing, speaker, startup, financial planning. And then you've got some things as well. So that's quite interesting. I'm going to jump on your website now. So I want to still think about that first impression. Okay, so when I look at your website, here's the first thing that stands out to me. There's a whole lot of pink because of, you know, your photo, your logo, the call to action button. Now, is pink your business brand or your personal brand?
I don't differentiate between it yet.
Okay, so you you're like wearing your business colors on you all the time.
I am my business. That's what I
Okay.
think like. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Because my business is all about me, right? Like the services I'm offering, like I'm literally offering my brain, my experience, and my life learnings, right?
So I've got an idea, I've got the plan and tools to start. So one of the things that I notice at the moment is I love the fact that it's very consistent. It's a very stylish website. It comes across as warm and friendly, very easy to navigate. So you have a really nice, really beautiful image of you. You're inviting, you're ready to work with these people, right?
Yes.
Yeah, welcome to the consultancy, and you're talking about your experience, which is great. Reach out today, let's get started. And then boom, here's Nadia, nice to meet you. And, you know, talking about your international background and how long you've been in the US. So I think that calls for a really interesting story. You definitely come across as someone who's a friend on the website. So it's very warm, very inviting. But here's the thing that makes me go, but when I'm meeting you, Nadia, I'm not seeing your personality. I think you've got a lot of high energy. Your sweatshirt, number one. The fact that you're showing up on a show with that, stand up again, my friend. Okay. Yeah. Right?
I was like,
Exactly. You're very bold. You're not
Yeah.
afraid to speak your mind. You've got a lot of very like high energy. The fact that you talked about breakup, the fact that you have to process that breakup and then come up with a plan. I'm personally not seeing any of that come across on your website. The fact that
Correct.
you said, I am my business. Yes, that's absolutely true. But you do not have to brand the same way as your business. So your business brand and then your personal brand are completely separate. What marries your personal brand with your business brand is you and your story, not how you actually show up in your business. So you don't always have to wear pink if that's not. Sometimes you want to add a little bit more color, that's fine.
Yes,
Maybe that's
true.
right. You know, you don't want to be married to pink, but if
Mm.
that's the way you want to show up for your clients, you have to do that consistently all the time. And I think you do that really, really well. Those bold, like swear words, the slogans, the fact that you say break up with your corporate world and then let's build your revenge business so that you can break up with your 9 to 5 today. That should be on the homepage, girl.
I'm so shy doing that because I felt that it's almost developed this own dynamic. The whole like breakup with a 9 to 5 is something that just kind of recently developed out of my workshop that I'm offering that literally is called like Escape the 9 to 5 and,
Yeah.
break up with corporate and build your own business. So that's like the offer that I'm putting out there to people just to experience me. While the Fromm Consulting business almost feels like the umbrella above it because I also do have corporate clients. Some of my clients already have their business going, so they don't need the whole like breakup with corporate, even though many of them left corporate for certain reasons and have their own business now. But that's why I felt I'm looking for your advice there. It's like it felt like I want to stay very broad with Fromm Consulting, and it's almost like the breakup with 9 to 5 is like one of the products, like one of the sub brands. I don't know.
Okay, let's imagine there's a wound, right? You want to lean into it a bit more. You want them to feel that pain a little bit more. I think from consulting being general, right now, you just talked about having two different audiences. The first audience is your corporate audience who are still in that corporate world, but they do have a side hustle. And then your second audience are individuals who want to leave the corporate world because it's soul sucking. There's nothing there for them. So you can't cater to both of those audience. You have to lean in a little bit harder for one or the other. And from consulting, I think your messaging is a little on the weaker side. We want to elbow that salt in the wound a little bit so that when they see what you represent, then you can take them back and saying, okay, so it sounds like you're not ready to leave 9 to 5. I'm not telling you to leave your job, but let's build you a successful side hustle so that you can have more income. You can have more play money, you can have a little bit more freedom. So when you decide in the future you want to leave or you just want to make more money because your corporate job is not giving you the lifestyle that you want, this is where you work with me. You can have services for the people who want to stay in the corporate job, the people who have already started a business, and then the people who are like salt in the wound.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I haven't looked at it like that because I felt this. It's almost like trying to do like a perfect split between, hey, I'm working for very big corporations on, contract basis and support them with strategic projects and consulting. And all the way over here, I help people escape the same and build their own business. So I'm trying to like cater to, well, all of them.
Yeah.
Right. And I wrote it down. I actually have 4 audiences that I defined for myself.
Yeah.
But now I'm feeling probably to be most impactful, you probably want to focus on niche and on one, or at least one at a time.
Everyone on that dartboard, Nadia, is going to be your audience, but your target audience is that bullseye. And that's where your messaging needs to be really, really tight. You have to hit that bullseye because those people are looking for you, right? You are really understanding the pain that they're going through because you've been there, girl. This is your pain.
Yeah.
You have a business, a thriving business. You know what you're talking about. You have a process, strategy, all of that. They have none of that. So immediately you are the expert that can fix their problem. The more broad you are, the more your messaging gets watered down. And that's what I'm seeing from, I know your Instagram's very new, so let's just focus on your website.
Yeah.
That's what's coming across. It's coming across as you've made a great start, but I'm not really understanding who your audience is right now by looking on your website. Not sure what you're offering me as your target or as your ideal audience. And it's not clear to me that you want to hit that corporate. Like, just because you are chasing a corporate audience doesn't mean you have to be corporate too, right? That's the whole point.
Correct.
So now when you look at this with that perspective, does it feel like it shows you, your website shows the best version of you and what you do?
Well, with all of that in mind, I'm going to say probably no, because the website, I developed that over the summer. And now over time, with every conversation, interaction, and every, client, it seems that I'm like sharpened my position and the position that I'm feeling most comfortable with and that resonates most directly with the clients that I want to work with specifically. I think like I need to probably redo everything. Like with the swear words, with the polarizing, with the leaning really in on the pain point, like that website doesn't do that. The website is very nice, is very nice. It's still nice, girl. There's like the language is kind of, like as provocative as I dared, but I do feel that there's so much more room to push the envelope to make it, well, polarizing in a sense, because if you are polarizing, you trigger strong feelings either of, love it or hate it,
Right.
but that's how you stand out, right?
Again, like when people are meeting you face to face, just like we're doing now, it comes across as two different people. So, you're very bold, Nadia. I don't think you know how bold you are. I want to see that boldness come across in all of your like online presence. If you want to do epic shit, you have to show up doing that stuff as well.
True. And I do everywhere but on the internet.
Yeah.
Minor issue.
Just a minor issue, no biggie.
Nobody knows, but hey.
Let's dream big, okay? Just for a second. So if everything fell in place for you, where would your business be in 5 years' time? And then what would that actually look like for you?
Oh, in 5 years? Oh, so in 5 years, I have the vision that I would like to take this whole idea of I help you break up with corporate, I help you build your own business, and I would like to take it to a place where I'm almost thinking about like not just like one-off retreats, but I literally have the vision to have like somewhere sell everything to my name and somewhere like get a big property where people can come for like aspiring entrepreneurs or first time entrepreneurs or something. They can come for like a month or 3 months and they live in this little commune where they're gonna be like-minded individuals, and I can help people build their business with like hands-on. And there's gonna be, it's gonna be a yoga instructor and she's actually doing an energetic alignment, and then for a week we have a shaman, and so I'm almost having this vision of a community that physically comes together to do epic shit and build stuff. And so that's like all out there. Like that's the crazy vision.
Okay, so I'm just thinking personally for you, Nadia, what does that mean for you? Does that mean more freedom, more clients, something else?
It is definitely more freedom, and it would be a true and full immersion of that lifestyle and of that idea to create something really incredible and to truly like have my whole life immersed into it.
Yeah.
So fulfillment, yes. Fulfillment, doing good, helping people, kicking ass, being success, all the different things coming together. That's the vision. But first I need to get my name out there, and I want to be building trust that, people, I can help you. But it's easy to say, but harder to prove.
Why is the dream so important to you? What would achieving this dream change your life or your business?
It would change my life in a way where I would really find 100% alignment of work and life. And that's something that I never had. And I think, especially because I'm envisioning a physical space of healing and innovation and growth, and just because I'm envisioning like a physical place that feels like a place of home. And that's something that I'm personally craving for.
Well, especially because if these individuals are breaking up with corporate, you need a place to just kind of like literally like retreat, right? You need to have a place where you can actually process the fears and the, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did this. Oh shit, what is the next step for me? And am I crazy? Like all of these like negative bombardments of thoughts that's coming your way. So you're going to create that safe space for them so that they can safely move on to the next part of their journey without
Yes.
completely burning all of their assets and their
Yes.
finances and their contacts.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
do you think your current brand is helping you get closer to that dream? Or do you feel like it might be holding you back now?
I think it's holding me back. I had like a little like tingling, like little voice in the back of my mind who was like, well, you're developing your brand in a direction that the website doesn't show at all. So I definitely feel that from consulting as it is right now, from branding perspective, might be holding me back from like the personal brand that I just developed or I am developing.
Let's bring this back to where you are right now. And imagine that you've come across like that dream opportunity. So thinking about that retreat, that 5 years, and the fact that you have an audience in your community, you've got that. It's there now. Like, where's that gap?
The gap is the authenticity and the human aspect, the bold human aspect. So that kind of polarizing, standing out through the noise
Yeah.
and through the rest. I think that's missing.
I think you're missing in your business, even though you've worked really hard on your personal brand. Your business and your personal brand are just one thing right now, and you can't.
Yeah.
It's okay to separate the two things out. Your personal brand is not your business colors or your logo. You don't have to have Fromm Consulting all over yourself. What is missing right now is the fact that you've gone through all of this. Your story is really powerful. And girl, you come from an international background and you're based in the US. We need to amp that up completely, because that really repositions you differently from other like business consultants who do something similar to you. They don't have that experience. They haven't worked with these big corporations. They had these, like, you had the lifestyle that a lot of people aspire. And even then you're like, damn, this sucks. I hate this. I'm breaking up with corporate. It's taken away my soul. Now I have to process this shit and try to figure out how I'm going to move from A to B without burning myself along the way. Fromm Consulting was born from this.
Yes.
Right? So it's like the phoenix rising. That's you.
Yes.
Where is that? I want to see that in a lot more bold colors.
Now I want to see that too.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of great things going for you. You have the foundations, Nadia, to have a really like epic personal brand. I think with a few small tweaks, like some of the things that we mentioned, you're going to get there, and you're going to get there really, really fast, because what you have is super, super unique. So don't change that. Don't change anything about yourself. And for the love of God, do not water yourself down for somebody else.
Okay. Yes. This is like therapy. You're absolutely right. This is like you preaching to the choir. It's like that's yes.
Yeah. And then so I think it's not a full redo. It's basically making a few tweaks here and there, tightening up your messaging, like really knowing who are you and which version of me do I want to show to the world. And that's the version that's going to show up. Like now you showed up as you, not the watered down, like Nadia corporate, I want to be nice to everyone. Forget that.
Yeah.
If you need to be bold, go bold. And that's going to be the reason why people come to you, because you're not afraid to say the things that's in their heads.
Yes.
Yeah. You are bold enough to say, you know what, corporate is shit. I hate corporate world. That's the thing that you should be focusing on. So I would say that those are the opportunities that are probably like not helping your brand right now. But the good news is you are now in the perfect position to make progress today.
Yes.
You have a quick, rough idea on the kind of directions that you want to go in, your goals, next steps that we're talking about. If you were to change one thing today, what would it be?
Oh gosh. You got me so hyped up. I want to change everything. I want to like get going. So I think the biggest thing, honestly, I don't know. There's so many things in my head now. I know me, I would immediately jump into the website tonight and like do things, but I think I need to start with a strategy and like have like a robust plan of where I am, where I want to go. Literally what I would teach my clients too, but I need someone to help me with this. What are the specific tweaks? Is it like a new photo shooting? Is it a departure of certain phrases that I'm using on the website? And then how can we trickle that down to all the other channels? So I think there's a lot of work in front of me, but yeah, man, he just like put some sparkles in my brain.
Yeah, Fairy BOSSmother touch. So Nadia,
oh yeah, that's right. I didn't even. It's like,
there, boom,
good
done. Do you feel like the tweaks that we've discussed today are something that you can actually tackle on your own, or do you feel like you need some sort of like guidance to help the process easier?
Girl, you know the answer. I don't think I can do this by myself. Nobody does this by themselves. It's
Yeah.
just not we're social animals, and B, I have the knowledge, I have the experience, but doing these things for yourself about yourself it's hard to detach yourself from it, because then it goes, I'm like, but I like this picture of me. I'm like, yeah, but it's not, if it doesn't serve you in your purpose and your vision, then it must go. And so I think having a partner in crime on my side would probably be, yeah, I think it's gonna be, I think we gotta do this.
Awesome. So one last thing, just for the sake of the audience, what did you learn from the Fairy Boss Mother today?
That everybody needs to talk to you. I learned, I appreciate the direct feedback. And I think the biggest learning for me is that little voice in my head that was like, there's inconsistency, we're not showing up as we could, as good as we could, that she was right, and you said it out loud, and so now it's out in the ether. The first step of change and getting even, to the next level is to realize that there is a next level. And so
Yeah.
that was so helpful.
Awesome. Thank
Brutal,
you
but
so much.
helpful.
Hey, you wanted full on. I gave you full on. Well, thank you so
Yes.
much, Nadia, for joining me in the Fairy Boss Mother show. And I cannot wait to see your evolution next year. It's going to be epic, and you're going to do some epic shit. And I'm going to be right there with you to check out your journey. What is the best
Yes.
way for people to find you and follow along with your journey?
Yeah, thank you. So you can probably best connect with me on LinkedIn, Nadja Fromm, or across all the common social media. It's usually Fromm Consulting or Nadja Fromm. So it's all also linked on the website, fromconsulting.com.
And it's
And
FROMM.
it's wild. It's unique. Learn it. You'll find me.
Memorize it. This woman's going to be famous, helping you break out with corporate and do some epic shit with your business, and knowing that your corporate job is not the end all be all.
Thank you so much, Helen. So fun.
And that's a wrap. If you're interested in joining me on the Fairy Boss Mother show so I can give you a live brand review of your business, follow me on Instagram at Boss Diplomat and jump on the DM so you and I can chat. Or jump on my website www.bossdiplomat.com and apply to be a guest today. See you soon.